$8 million on the table, 5 siblings, 1 fake DNA test, and suddenly I am erased from the family that I gave everything for. They thought they had won until I walked into court with proof that changed everything. This is how I took back what was mine and made sure they lost everything. I exposed them all, and in the end, karma served them a dish colder than a winter graveyard. Grab your tea, settle in. This one is a long ride. My name is Elena, or at least that's what I'll call myself here. I was the middle child in a family of 5 kids. There was my older brother Marcus, the golden boy who could do no wrong, my older sister Victoria, the manipulative queen bee, then me, and the 2 younger ones, twins named Liam and Sophia, who always followed the crowd. Our parents, God rest their souls, built everything from nothing. Dad started as a mechanic and turned it into a chain of auto shops across the state. Mom was the heart of it all. She managed the books, raised us, and invested wisely in real estate. By the time they were in their 60s, they were worth millions. Not flashy rich, but comfortable. A big family home, vacation properties, stocks, savings, enough that we all knew there'd be a substantial inheritance one day. I was always the responsible one. While Marcus partied through college and racked up debts that Mom and Dad bailed him out of time and again, and Victoria schemed her way into marriages that conveniently ended with nice settlements, I worked hard. I put myself through nursing school, became a registered nurse, and spent years caring for our parents as they aged. Dad had a stroke when he was 68, and I moved back home to help Mom nurse him. I was there for the doctor's appointments, the physical therapy, the nights when he couldn't sleep from the pain. When Mom started showing signs of dementia a few years later, I was the one coordinating her care, managing medications, making sure she ate properly. The others? They'd visit for holidays, sure, with their fake smiles and empty promises. "We're so busy with the kids, work, life," they'd say. But I saw the truth. They were waiting for the payoff. Dad passed first, peacefully in his sleep one night. We all grieved, of course. The funeral was beautiful, full of stories about how he built his empire with his own hands. His will was straightforward. Everything split equally among the 5 of us kids, with Mom getting lifetime rights to the house and a trust for her care. Marcus and Victoria grumbled a bit. They thought they deserved more because they were older, but it went smoothly. Mom lived another 5 years, and during that time, her dementia worsened. I quit my full-time job to be her primary caregiver. The siblings chipped in a little for a part-time aide, but mostly it was me, bathing her, feeding her, holding her hand when she cried because she couldn't remember our names. Those last months were hard, darlings. Mom would have moments of clarity, though. She'd grab my hand and say, "Elena, you're the only one who's always here. The others, they're vultures." I'd shush her, tell her not to worry. But deep down, I knew she was right. Victoria especially. She'd swoop in every few months, checking on Mom, but really rummaging through drawers, asking about bank accounts. "Just making sure everything's organized, sis," she'd say with that fake sweet smile. Mom passed quietly one spring morning. I was holding her hand when she slipped away. The house felt empty, echoing with memories. We arranged the funeral quickly, another big affair, family flying in from everywhere. That's when the aunts got involved. Aunt Lydia and Aunt Beatrice, Mom's older sisters. They were always nosy, always whispering about family matters. They helped organize things, which I appreciated at first. Grief makes you overlook red flags. A week after the funeral, we all gathered at the family lawyer's office for the reading of Mom's will. I was exhausted, barely sleeping, but excited too. Mom had hinted in her lucid moments that she'd updated her will to reflect who really cared. "You've earned it, Elena," she'd whispered once. The lawyer, Mr. Hargrove, A stern old man who'd handled our family's affairs for decades cleared his throat and began. The estate, valued at approximately $8.2 million, including properties, investments, and liquid assets, is to be divided as follows. My heart pounded. Then he dropped the bomb. Marcus, Victoria, Liam, and Sophia, each to receive 25% of the estate. Elena, due to certain revelations regarding paternity, you are excluded entirely. The room spun. I couldn't breathe. What? What did you say? Mr. Hargrove looked uncomfortable. Your mother left a codicil, an amendment dated 6 months ago. It states that DNA evidence has come to light proving Elena is not the biological daughter of the deceased's husband. Therefore, per her wishes, Elena is to receive nothing, as she is not considered a blood heir. Blood heir? What in God's name? Victoria gasped dramatically, hand over her mouth. Marcus looked shocked. Too shocked, I realized later. The twins just stared. Aunt Lydia patted Victoria's shoulder. Oh, honey, we had no idea until recently. I demanded to see the codicil. There it was, in Mom's shaky handwriting, or what looked like it, with witnesses, Aunt Lydia and Aunt Beatrice. Attached was a DNA report from some online kit claiming I wasn't Dad's daughter. The report said my DNA didn't match the family line. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. This is impossible. Mom wouldn't. She couldn't. But they all turned on me. Victoria first. Elena, how could you not know? Mom confessed to us before she passed. She had an affair years ago. You're not one of us. Marcus nodded solemnly. It's a shock to all of us, sis, but blood is blood. The twins mumbled agreements. Aunt Beatrice added, we encouraged her to tell the truth. It's better this way. No pretending anymore. I stormed out, tears blinding me. How could this be? I'd spent my life as part of this family. Dad treated me no different. Or did he? Suddenly, every memory twisted. Was that why he was stricter with me sometimes? No, that couldn't be. The next weeks were hell. They froze me out completely. The house, my home for years, was locked when I went back for my things. Victoria had already moved in to handle affairs. They changed the locks, said I had no rights since I wasn't family. Phone calls went unanswered, texts, give us space to grieve. Even cousins I'd grown up with sided with them. DNA doesn't lie, Elena. I was devastated. Broke, too. I'd spent my savings on Mom's care. I crashed on a friend's couch, barely eating. The betrayal cut deeper than any knife. Not just the money, the erasure of my entire identity. I wasn't their sister anymore. I was nothing. But something nagged at me. Mom's handwriting in the codicil. It was shaky, yes, but some letters looked off. And that DNA report, it was from a cheap online service, no chain of custody, just uploaded results. Mom, in her dementia, confessing an affair? She barely remembered what day it was in her last months. I couldn't let it go. Grief turned to anger, then determination. If they wanted to play dirty, fine, but I wasn't going down without a fight. First, I hired a lawyer of my own, Miss Ramirez, a shark known for probate disputes. She was expensive, but I sold my car to afford the retainer. This smells fishy, she said after reviewing the documents. Forged codicils happen more than you think, especially with dementia patients, and excluding one child entirely? Unusual unless there's ironclad proof. We started digging. First, the DNA report. I demanded the raw data from the company. Turns out it was uploaded by an anonymous account, email traced to a library computer, but the IP? It bounced around, but metadata suggested it was created recently, not years ago as claimed. Then the witnesses, Aunts Lydia and Beatrice. Miss Ramirez subpoenaed their phone records. Bingo. Dozens of calls to Victoria in the months before Mom's death. Texts, too. Make sure she's isolated. The plan is working. But the real breakthrough, I remembered Mom had done a legitimate DNA test years ago for genealogy through a reputable lab with Dad's sample too for comparison. Dad had passed, but the results were stored. I got a court order to access them. Clear as day, 99.99% match. I was Dad's daughter. Armed with that, we challenged the will in court. But I wanted more than reversal. I wanted the truth exposed. So, quietly, I hired a private investigator. His name was Jack, ex-cop, no nonsense. Jack started with the aunts. Aunt Lydia had money troubles, gambling debts. Aunt Beatrice was jealous her whole life. Mom got the better life. But the smoking gun, Victoria and Marcus. Turns out, Marcus had been embezzling from the family business for years, skimming off the auto shops. Dad suspected but never confronted him. After Dad died, Marcus covered tracks but needed money to pay off loans. Victoria? Her latest divorce left her broke. Ex-husband got everything in a prenup she foolishly signed. They hatched the plan together. While I was busy caring for Mom, Victoria visited often, helping with paperwork. She had access to Mom's computer, old documents. They forged the codicil using samples of Mom's writing from old letters. The aunts witnessed it, for a cut, of course. But the embezzlement, that's what sealed it. Jack found bank records. Marcus transferred large sums from company accounts to offshore. Over $800,000 gone. And guess who helped launder it? Victoria, using her connections. The DNA lie? Victoria bought a kit, submitted fake samples, probably her own mixed with someone else's, to create a non-match. Uploaded it herself. Jack got recordings too. Hidden camera in a family meeting I wasn't invited to. Victoria bragging, once Elena's out, we split her share. Marcus covers the missing money. I get the house to sell. The twins won't question it. They're sheep. Hearing that, oh, darlings, it broke what was left of my heart, but it fueled me. Court day came. Probate hearing packed. All of them there, smug. Mr. Hargrove looked nervous. Turns out he'd been pressured by the aunts. Miss Ramirez laid it out. Real DNA proof first. Judge's eyes widened. Then the forged handwriting analysis. Expert testified the codicil was manipulated, letters traced. Then the bombshell, Jack's evidence. Embezzlement records submitted, recordings played, Victoria's voice clear. She's not even real family anyway. This fixes everything. The courtroom erupted. Marcus went pale. Victoria screamed, "That's illegal. You can't record without permission." It was a one-party state, actually. The judge halted proceedings. This appears to be fraud, forgery, and potential embezzlement. I'm invalidating the codicil immediately. The original will stands, equal shares for all 5 children, and I'm referring this to the district attorney for criminal charges. They lost it. Victoria lunged at me. Security restrained her. Marcus begged, "Elena, it was just stress. We can work this out." The twins, poor things, cried, realizing they'd been duped too. But I wasn't done. With the will restored, my share was over $1.6 million, plus damages from the lawsuit I filed for emotional distress and slander. Marcus got charged with embezzlement, restitution ordered, plus jail time. Victoria for forgery and fraud. The aunts, accessory charges, fines that wiped them out. I took my inheritance and thrived, bought a beautiful home by the lake, started a foundation for caregiver supports in Mom and Dad's name. The twins reached out eventually, apologetic. We reconciled slowly. They were young, manipulated. The others? Cut off completely. Last I heard, Victoria's in debt, Marcus disgraced, aunts living in regret. And me? I'm at peace, because blood doesn't make family. Loyalty does, and mine was tested, but I passed with flying colors. Listen to Auntie now. Never let anyone dim your light, especially not those who claim to love you. Fight for your truth. The victory tastes so sweet. That's the story, my loves. If it touched you, like, subscribe, share your own. Until next time, stay strong.